Here's what most people do when they have a community idea. They plan, they map out every detail, they pick the platform, outline the content calendar, design the welcome sequence, create the pricing tiers. They build the entire infrastructure and then they launch and nothing. Radio silence. Or worse, a handful of people join and immediately ghost. And they're left sitting there thinking, what did I miss? Why didn't this work? I did everything right. Except they skipped one thing that actually mattered more than anything else: validation. Today, we're talking about the pre launch validation nobody does, but is an absolute must, and how to know if your community idea will actually work before you invest months building it. If your community feels like more work than growth, you're in the right place, friend. This is Community at Heart, the podcast for creators, educators, and entrepreneurs building paid membership communities. I'm Rachel Starr, Circle Certified Partner and founder of the Co-Creator Society. And here we break down what actually works to turn community into a real growth engine without losing the human connection that makes it thrive. Let me tell you what I see happen consistently in this industry. If someone has an idea for a community, it can be a brilliant idea. Maybe it came from their own experience. Maybe they saw someone else do something similar. Maybe they're hearing the same questions from clients over and over, and they think this would be perfect. I should build a community around this. So they do what they've been taught to do. They plan it out. They write the whole curriculum. They pick their platform and start building. They spend weeks, sometimes months, building out the member journey. They create the onboarding sequence. They film welcome videos. They design graphics. They write copy for the sales page. They set up the tech. They integrate everything. They build the funnels, and then they launch. And I'm overwhelmed and tired just from that list. And then 3 people join, or maybe 20 people join, but the community stays silent. Or 50 people join during the launch promo and 48 of them cancel after the first month. And now they're stuck. They've built this whole infrastructure for a community that doesn't actually exist. They're sitting in an empty space wondering what went wrong. But here's the thing. The problem wasn't the platform. It wasn't the price point. It wasn't even the content. The problem was that they never validated that people actually wanted this in the first place. Let me be really clear about something. Validation is not posting on Instagram asking if people would join. It's not a poll in your stories. It's not getting DMs from 3 people saying, OMG, yes. It's not looking at someone else's successful community and assuming yours will work the same way. And it's definitely not thinking that because you would have wanted this 3 years ago, other people want it now. That's not validation, friends. That's hope wearing a research hat. Real validation means you've tested the demand. You've put something out there, something real, something people can actually experience, and you've watched what happens. Do people show up? Do they engage? Do they ask for more? Do they pull out their credit cards? That's validation. And here's why most people skip it: because it feels scary. It feels vulnerable. It feels like you're showing people an unfinished version of something you haven't perfected yet. But that's exactly the point. You're supposed to test before you perfect. You're supposed to see if demand exists before you invest in the polish. Because polish doesn't create demand. Polish just makes something that already works look better. And if the core offer doesn't work, no amount of beautiful branding is going to save it. So let's talk about what real pre-launch validation actually looks like. First, you need to understand what you're really testing for. You're not testing if your idea sounds good. You're not testing if you can explain it well. You're not even testing if people say they like it. You're testing if people will change their behavior because of it. Will they show up consistently? Will they engage with the content and with each other? Will they pay for ongoing access? Because here's what I've learned after years of building myself and then helping others build communities. Interest doesn't equal engagement, and engagement doesn't equal retention. People will tell you they love an idea. They'll join a wait list. They'll follow you on Instagram and save your posts. But will they actually show up? Will they participate? Will they stick around? That's what you need to find out before you build the whole darn thing. Now, here's a validation framework I like to use with every community client before we even think about opening circle. First up, we need to surface the pattern. Before you can validate a community idea, you need to know exactly what problem you're solving. Not what problem you think you're solving, what problem your people are actually experiencing. And the only way to know that is to listen. Really listen. Go back through your DMs. Look at your email inbox. Check your discovery call notes. Read the comments on your posts. What questions keep coming up? What struggles are people talking about? What are they asking for help with? You're looking for patterns, not one-off requests, not the thing your friend mentioned once. Patterns. If 5 people have asked you the same question in different ways, that's a pattern. If multiple clients are hitting the same roadblock, that's a pattern. If you keep having the same conversation over and over, that's a pattern. Those patterns are your signal. And here's what most people get wrong. They spot the pattern and immediately jump to building the solution. But you're not done yet, friend. You need to test if the pattern you're seeing is actually a problem people want help solving. I know, it's crazy because sometimes people complain about something, but they're not actually willing to do anything about it. Sometimes they say they want community, but what they really want is direct access to you. Sometimes they think they need one thing when they actually need something completely different. You won't know until you test. Next step, test with a live experience. This is where most people get nervous because testing means putting something out there before it's perfect. It means showing up and delivering something real before you have all the answers figured out. But that's the entire point. You're not testing your ability to deliver a polished product. You're testing if people actually want what you think they want. Create a short-term focused experience, a workshop, a sprint, a challenge, a beta cohort, something time-bound that delivers real value around the topic you're considering building a full community experience around. And then you watch what happens. Do people sign up? Well, that's your first signal. If you put out a free 5-day workshop on community building and nobody registers, well, that's telling you something. Do people show up? That's your second signal. If 50 people register but only 8 actually attend day 1, that's data. Do people engage? That's your third signal. If people show up, but they're lurking and not participating, that's important information. And do people ask for more? That's your final signal. If you finish the workshop and people are sliding into your DM saying, when can we keep going on this? Is there a paid version of this? Or I want to work with you longer. Congratulations. You validated demand. If they don't ask for more, you just saved yourself months of work. Here's what this looked like for me when I first tested the Co-Creator Society concept. I knew there was a pattern. I kept having the same conversations with established founders who were tired of building alone. They wanted peer support, they wanted strategic collaboration, and systems to help them. They were maxed out on the solo hustle. But I didn't know if a membership community was the right solution. And I definitely didn't know if people would pay for it. So I tested it. I ran a 4-week pilot program with 8 founders. We met live once a week. I facilitated hot seat sessions, strategy workshops, and accountability check-ins. It wasn't polished. It was pretty scrappy, but it was real. And here's what I learned. People showed up. Every single call had at least 6 out of the 8 people present. That told me engagement was there. People participated. They brought real problems to the hot seats. They helped each other in between calls. That told me the collaborative model worked. People asked what came next. Before the pilot was even over, 5 of them asked how they could keep going. That told me retention was possible. And that's when I built the full membership on Circle Plus. Not before, after. Because I had validation, real validation, not Instagram poll validation, not my friend said she joined validation, actual behavioral validation. And that pilot became the foundation for everything that's the Co-Creator Society today. Now, let's talk about what to look for during your validation period. Because running a test experience is one half the battle. The other half is actually reading the signals correctly. And most people miss the signals. They see what they want to see instead of what's actually happening. And I'm totally guilty of this. So here's what to pay attention to. First, registration to show up rate. If you launch a free workshop and get 100 registrants, but only 10 people show up on day one, that's telling you something. Either your messaging attract the wrong people or your topic isn't urgent enough for people to prioritize. Don't make excuses. Don't say, well, people are busy. Of course, people are busy. But when something feels essential, they make it work. If your show up rate is below 40%, you've got a messaging problem or a relevance problem, and you need to fix that before you build a paid community. Second, engagement consistency. Are the same people showing up every single day, or are you seeing different faces each time? If it's the same core group participating throughout the entire experience, that's a great sign. Those are your future members. Those are the people who actually want ongoing community around this topic. If you're seeing high turnover, different people every day, lots of drop off after day 2, that's telling you the topic has initial appeal but isn't sticky enough for ongoing engagement. That doesn't mean you give up. It means you need to refine what you're offering. Maybe the framing needs to shift. Maybe the depth isn't right. Maybe you're attracting curiosity seekers instead of committed learners. But you're discovering this now before you build the whole community. That's the point. Third, quality of participation. And this one is a big one that people overlook. Are people just consuming? Or are they actually engaging with each other? Are they showing up for the content and leaving, or are they sticking around for the conversations? In communities, the magic isn't the content you deliver. The magic is the connections people make with each other. If people are only there for teaching, they want a course, not a community. So watch for peer-to-peer interaction. Are people asking each other questions? Are they offering feedback? Are they sharing their own experiences? If yes, you're on to something. If no, you might be building a course with a community wrapper, and that's going to create retention problems later. Fourth, the ask for more. This is the most important signal, and it's the one that tells you if you actually have a viable community idea. At the end of your test experience, do people ask what's coming next? Do they want to keep going? Do they say, I don't want this to end? If multiple people are asking, how can we continue? Congratulations. You have absolutely validated demand. But here's the key. They have to ask. You don't ask them. You don't pitch them on the next step. You don't say so. I'm thinking about creating a membership. Would you join? That's leading the witness. That doesn't tell you anything real. You finish the experience, you deliver massive value, and you see who reaches out wanting more. Those people are your founding members. Those are the ones who actually pay and stay. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. Rachel, this sounds great, but I don't have time to run a whole test experience. I just want to launch the darn community. And I get it. Testing feels like it's slowing you down, feels like an extra step when you just want to build the thing and start making money. But here's what I need you to understand. Testing doesn't slow you down. It speeds you up. Because skipping validation means you might build something nobody wants. And when that happens, you've just wasted 3 months of your life. And who knows how much money. Testing means you spend 2 weeks finding out if the idea has legs before you invest 200 hours building it out. That's not slow. That's smart. And here's the beautiful part about testing. Even if you discover the idea doesn't have the demand you thought it did, you haven't lost anything. You've gained clarity. You've eliminated a path that wouldn't have worked and now can pivot faster. That's not failure. That's efficient decision making. Let me give you a real example of this. I had a client who wanted to build a community for wedding photographers around business strategy. She was convinced it would work. She'd been a successful photographer for years. She knew the industry. She saw the need. But before she built anything, I had her run a 5-day workshop. Free, just testing engagement. 40 photographers signed up. Great signal. 15 showed up on day 1. Okay, signal. By day 3, only 6 were still participating. Red flag. And when the workshop ended, nobody asked what came next. Not one person. She was devastated. She thought she'd validated her idea with those 40 registrations. But registrations doesn't validate demand. Behavior validates demand. And the behavior she saw told her that while photographers were curious about business strategy, they weren't actually willing to prioritize it. They show up for free content if it was convenient, but they weren't going to commit to ongoing community. So, did she build the community anyways? No. Did she waste 3 months building something that would have flopped? Also no. Instead, she pivoted. She realized what photographers actually wanted wasn't community. They wanted templates and systems they could implement quickly. So she built a one-time offer with plug-and-play resources, and that sold incredibly well because she tested. She read the signals correctly, and she built what people actually wanted instead of what she assumed they wanted. That's the power of validation. Here's something else most people don't think about when it comes to validation. You're not just testing if people want the topic, you're testing if you actually want to facilitate this. Because here's what happens when you skip this step. You build a community around something you think you're supposed to care about, and 6 months in, you realize you're completely checked out. Or the community dynamic isn't what you thought it would be, or the questions people ask aren't the ones you want to answer, or the facilitation style required drains you instead of energizing you. And now you're stuck running something you don't actually enjoy. I've seen this happen so many times. Someone builds a community because it seems like the smart business move, but they didn't test if they actually like showing up for it. So during your validation period, pay attention to your own energy. Do you look forward to the sessions? Are you dreading them? Do the conversations energize you or do they deplete you? Do you feel excited about facilitating this long term or does it already feel heavy? Those signals matter just as much as the engagement signals from your audience. Because if you're not genuinely excited about facilitating this community, it's going to show and people will feel it and they won't stay. Validation isn't just about market demand, it's about founder offer fit. And you can't know that until you actually do it live. So let me recap the validation framework for you. First, surface the pattern, identify the reoccurring problems or questions that keep showing up in your audience. Second, test with a live experience. Create a short-term, time-bound workshop, challenge, or cohort that delivers real value around that topic. Third, read the signals. Pay attention to registration rates, show up rates, engagement consistency, peer interaction, and whether people ask for more. Fourth, decide based on data, not hope. If the signals are strong, build the community. If they're weak, pivot or refine. It's that simple. And if it will save you months of wasted effort, here's the thing I want you to walk away with today. Pre-launch validation isn't about being scared to commit. It's not about lacking confidence in your idea. It's not about needing permission from your audience. It's about being strategic. It's about respecting your time and energy enough to make sure you're building something that will actually work before you invest everything into it. You wouldn't build a house without checking if the foundation is solid. You wouldn't launch a product without testing if people will buy it. So why would you build a community without validating that people will actually show up and engage? Testing isn't a signal of weakness. It's a sign of smart business. And if you want to learn how to create validation experiences that actually work, the kind that give you clear signals about demand without requiring you to build the whole thing first. Because here's the truth, friends. The best way to know if your community idea will work is to test it first. Okay, friends. Until next week. Bye, friends.